big components for, okay? Because what good is having retirement if you haven't protected your health and protected your life? Okay, so I'm going to be blue font. What kind of bullet do I want today? Wonder, do they have stars? I have to move stuff out of the way to see my bullets. They do. Just feeling different. Okay, so our section for the chapter itself is called Insuring Your Health and Life. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of insurance. Okay, we're going to talk about the importance of insurance. Cameras, please, we know better. Okay, so first thing about the importance of insurance is the idea of what health insurance is. Health insurance limits personal expenses when ill or injured, and make sure you have adequate medical care. Okay, so the whole idea of insurance for medical insurance, health insurance, is you pay a little bit each month or a little bit over the course of the year. Some insurance companies have you pay monthly. Some insurance companies pay half a year at a time. Doesn't matter how you're paying, but you're paying money ahead of time so that should something happen, you're not crazy in debt. Okay, example. Some of you know that my younger son has health issues, and every 8 weeks he has to go for chemotherapy. If we did not have that medical insurance, every 8 weeks, we would be having to spend $22,000. But we have medical insurance so that we don't have to pay that. We do a $25 copay and we're good. Okay. Camera should be on. Class has already started. You are tardy. Okay. So the other side of that is the fact that some insurance is a little, some medical care is a little better than others, right? So by having that insurance, the insurance company has made sure that the doctor that you're going to, that the hospital you're going to, that the place you're getting your care is certified, okay, and is in good shape, okay? Okay, so that's what it means by that you have adequate medical care. They have made sure that the person you're going to and the place you're going to is safe, adequate medical care. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, there are different sources of medical coverage. We're going to talk about those. The first source is private, sometimes called personal coverage. That's the one that you go out looking for the medical coverage, you go ahead and make the payments, or you're going through the database. This is what Covered California is, okay? They go ahead and Covered California is a database website to buy insurance, okay? So you're paying for it yourself. It's personal coverage. Now, we're not saying personal as in only for you. Okay, we're saying personal as in you're paying for it yourself. Okay. Okay. Next source of medical coverage is from your employer. Okay. You may be required to pay for all or part of it, but the employer, can't spell, has negotiated the coverage. So they went out and said, I have insurance company X number of employees. What kind of deal can you make us? So it's a bigger group. And because it's a bigger group, the insurance companies are a little more likely to make deals with them because that's multiple people that they get to insure instead of just one. Okay. Now, some employers do pay all of it. Some employers pay part of it. Some employers pay none of it. They just worked out the deal for you. Okay. Usually cheaper than the personal coverage. Okay. Usually cheaper than the personal coverage. Okay. The last kind is from the government. Now, the government has two different kinds. The first kind is called Medicare. Okay. This is funded through payroll taxes, which we saw when we did the tax form, and is used, oops, didn't want to do that. Yeah, not a capital, don't want that locked. And is used for those over 65 years. Old who qualify for Social Security benefits or are permanently disabled. Okay. So there is a situation where maybe during your lifetime, sadly, something's happened and you're permanently disabled from being able to work. That doesn't mean that you're in a wheelchair. That doesn't mean that you are, paraplegic or quadriplegic or any of that. Permanently disabled means that you're not able to work. So example, I know of a young man, he's about ready to turn 30. He's already had 4 back surgeries because during the course of his lifetime, he played football, he did this, he did that. He was a very active person and it damaged his back. So he's had 4 back surgeries. Now he's not able to work because of the back situation. He's in chronic pain, he's got all this. So you don't have to be permanently disabled like in a wheelchair or not able to move. You just have to be permanently disabled, unable to work. Some of the people that were born with epilepsy are in that category because their seizures come at such erratic times that it's unsafe for them to work. Okay. So permanently disabled does not mean wheelchair. Okay. Now, inside Medicare, there are 2 parts. There's Part A, which is hospital insurance. At no cost to them. And then there is Part B, which is doctor visits and other services provided outside a hospital at a cost. And that cost is some premium, which is a payment. Sometimes it's called a copay. Okay. That second part. Okay. So do we understand a little bit about Medicare? Now we have to back up to here because remember I told you the government has two parts. There's Medicare and then there's Medicaid. Okay. Medicaid provides health insurance for low income people, and is designed for elderly, blind, disabled, can't spell, and needy families with dependent children. Okay, who remembers what it means to be a dependent children? Talked about it back when we did our taxes. What does that mean, dependent children? So Medicaid's designed for the elderly, but children, well, no, obviously children depend on their parents for their daily needs, but what does it mean when they say the phrase dependent children? What kind of time span are we talking about, years wise? What's going on in that child's life that they are dependent children? Because there's a difference between dependent children and dependents. Okay, my college sons are my dependents. They are not dependent children. So what makes a dependent children, that phrase dependent children? Yeah, they have to be minors. They have to be non-graduates from high school. So even though you turn 18, if you haven't graduated high school yet, you are still considered a dependent child. Okay. But once you turn 18 and you graduate high school, then nope, you are no longer a dependent child. Okay. So this is designed for the elderly that don't qualify. Maybe they didn't have a job, so they didn't pay for Social Security benefits, or blind or physically disabled, or the families with dependent children that are low income. Okay, it's mostly designed to help fill in the gap. Okay, now rules to qualify for this coverage, can't spell, vary from state to state. So it makes it kind of tricky. So people that in one state, they might qualify. If they move to another state, they might not qualify. Because, example, California is expensive to live in. We know this, right? We live here. So maybe you qualify in California, but you move to something like Mississippi. A lot cheaper to live there. So sometimes you'll lose your benefits because you move from where the benefits. So before you think on moving, you need to be doing your research. You don't want to end up being stuck. Okay. So that's it for the sources. So I'm going to back up twice. Okay, 3 times. Okay, that's it for sources. We have a little bit more, and then we'll talk about today's assignment. Our next topic is health care costs. All right, so the ultimate question, why is it so expensive? Okay, and there are a few reasons why our healthcare coverage is so expensive. The first one is people are living longer and need coverage for longer. Our lifespans are getting longer. And because our lifespans are getting longer, we need our coverage for longer, which means the insurance company has to spend money for longer, so they charge you more. Okay. Second reason why it's so expensive now is that there's new expensive technology. Can't spell technology in the healthcare field. So the MRI machines have gotten better. The types of surgery have gotten better. But by getting better, they're using more technology, and by using technology, that costs. Okay. And then the last reason why healthcare is so expensive is fraud. Fraudulent claims by people giving false information to get financial benefits. Okay. And you want to read info about fraud on page 119 in the second box. Okay, so those are various ways that they're doing the wrong thing. Okay, so some of it is about just we live longer and new technology, and some of it is about cheaters, cheating the system, and the system has to pass the cost on to the people that need the insurance the most, which is really lousy. Okay, big thought for the day. Okay, the big thought for the day. Even though it's expensive, not having coverage is worse, because even a minor accident or injury can be serious. It can do serious damage. Spelling right today. To your financial plan and financial future. Financial future. Okay. Like I said, if I didn't have coverage, every 8 weeks, $22,000. Not money that I have set aside. Not money I have in my pocket to do. And he has to do that for the rest of his life. Okay. Or you're at home, you're walking down your stairs, you trip, you break a bone. $15,000, $20,000. Most people don't have that kind of money just laying around. And once you have to pay that out, it seriously damages your financial abilities to move forward. Okay. So, but that's why they created that Covered California website, so that people could find something that is reasonably affordable. We'll cover most of the major stuff so that they're safe and they don't have this huge debt. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay, turn in your notes, please. While I bring up what you need to be doing for your activity for the day. Turn in your notes, please. See all this I already have planned. So smart. Okay, so this is our instructions for the day. You have now a blank Google form. You are not adding a Google form to the assignment. I cut that out. I attached the blank Google form. So you click on the blank Google form, and that's where you write your paragraphs. You have 3 paragraphs to write. First paragraph, read the first article. Why should insurance be part of your financial plan? Read the article. Then you write a paragraph to explain why insurance should be part of your financial plan. Then you read the Chapter 7 Activity 1 resource, 411 on insurance, and you write a paragraph about how the insurance companies work. And then finally, you're going to read the employer health insurance versus individual plans article and write a paragraph about the pros and cons of employer versus individual plans. But they all go in this Google Doc that's already attached. Okay, make sure you're referencing the article in the story. Don't just say from the article, tell which article it was. Okay, and I should see that there are details from the article. Any questions about what you're supposed to be doing? Any questions about what's supposed to be handled?